We say things that don't mean anything, but thanks for listening. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to We Say Things, episode 287. Sunsfan here with the Cindermeister. How are you doing, young man?
87. I'm doing good, Shannon. I have a good.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you to our beautiful patrons, which Cinder will now be doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
I am ready. Should I do them? We've never done them in backwards order, have we? We're not going to do that today, though. It's just not right.
It feels weird.
Amish Toaster, did you see Shack? There it is. Shock. I can't read it without reading it like Shock because I think in my brain it becomes Shark, you know? When I see these letters together, I just think Shock. Because it looks like Shark. Did you see Shaq do a mini doubles luge on their NBA show? We did, and we did it last episode. Crownfall Enjoyer, Disco Farm D, Dop, Empire of Dirt, Isaac Hansen. Anonymous, Malicious Damage, Pepperballs, Sons, Nugget Boy, SGGC Daniel, T-Coil, The Megapope, Vlad, Let's Have Puppy on the podcast. That's been the name for like 200 episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wagyu Hater, Wooden Aftertaste, and finally, dire wolves were real Ice Age predators that went extinct about 10,000 years ago. Mr. Niebling.
Cool.
What do you think they ate? Ice?
Mammoths.
They would have gone extinct when the ice melted if they ate ice.
I mean, there's still ice, so I doubt that.
Yeah, but less.
Happy Noros to everybody out there that celebrates. I was actually, this was not on the outline, by the way, Cinderin. I don't know what it was. I was compelled to watch our A to Z challenge that we always talk about, and people, I just see random comments talk about Bloodseeker Bounty. You remember that vaguely, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I went back and watched it. It has been, I don't know how many years. I should have checked. Over 10 for sure. And I noticed something very interesting.
Oh, no. This is about me, I'm sure.
No, it's about me, actually.
Oh, okay.
But it does relate to you because I am sorry in advance. But it's my wife's fault in the end, so we can blame her. She's screaming at me now downstairs.
I just heard her faintly in the back. Hey!
So I watched the whole episode and I could not believe. I was like maybe 20, let's say I was 25, 26, whatever, mid-20s. So maybe it's like 15 years ago. I don't know. I didn't cuss a single time, Cinderin.
It can't be that long.
I didn't cuss a single freaking time. And I remember the days before I met my wife that I didn't cuss. I don't know if you remember that about me. I refused to cuss. It was a big deal for me, actually.
Oh, really? I do not remember that.
And now, all I do is cuss. And I feel like people that cuss, it makes them sound stupid. And I don't know why I do it. So I'm going to try to, I think doing it every now and then is okay. I'm not saying to just cut it out completely, but I do it way too much. And I noticed watching your stream that you cuss and it doesn't feel right coming out of your mouth. And I think that I'm a big reason why you've been cussing. I'm going to take credit for it.
I don't think it's because of you. I mean, what I would have to go back and do some like deep dive into my past recordings or whatever as well to figure this out. But I've always, to my memory, I've always liked cussing for effect. I think cuss words are a good thing if you use them correctly. But
yeah, in limited quantity. But
I know some people
overuse.
Right. Some people use them too much and then it's annoying. Some people are extremely purist about it and say you can never use a cuss word a single time. I find that to be a little bit tame. So I think in moderation, it's a good thing. But if you have noticed about you that you do it too much and it's when you listen or see it or hear it from other people that it's annoying, then, I mean, it's good for you. Good that you're working on it.
When we cast, I don't think I do it too often. If I do, it's like barely too often. It's just normal speech. I do it too often, and I hate that about myself.
I see.
So.
I see.
I'm going to try to cut down just for you, Cinderin, because I know you're a pure boy.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I've complained about this for years. It's good you finally come around. Yeah. This really bothered me a lot.
Okay, so first topic is NBA related. I'm just going to
Okay.
play this in the background. There was a player, Cinderin,
Yeah.
named Bam Adebayo for the Miami Heat that scored. Well, does it? Okay, you don't have a link. Are you watching my stream? Don't look if you
I
are.
am. Yeah. I'm watching it. Yeah.
Did you see the number yet? Don't look. Stop looking.
Okay. I'm not looking.
How many
then.
points do you think he scored in a game?
In a single game?
Yes. So, do you want me to give you some reference points?
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm trying to remember. Let's say the top scores in the NBA average 30.
And a game that has a lot of points is like 100 something, right?
A lot of
From one
points in
team.
an NBA game these days would be like 140, I guess.
From one team.
From one team, yes.
Yeah. Okay, then if this guy had like a generational game,
I will say he's not the top of all time. He's number 2.
uh-huh.
What do you think that number is?
Okay. I'm gonna be bold then. 80?
Wow. Very close. 83 points, Cinderin.
That's actually ridiculous.
What do you think the top of all time is?
Who or what number?
What number?
84.
100 is the top. And that one was like 60 years ago or some garbage.
Yeah, it's got to be some super early where someone was like.
The thing is, so this game has a lot. It's funny because this game in particular, or this performance, has been quite polarizing because the way he got it was not the most entertaining. Like the first half, I think was fine. Even the third quarter, maybe to some degree. He had like 70 points or something after 3 quarters. He had an incredible game. He shot 40 free throws. So half of his points were free throws. That's number one. He played against the worst team in the league that are trying to lose on purpose in the Wizards.
Okay.
So people are criticizing the fact that not only was it against this team or that with all these free throws, but that they pushed to try to get the record, second place. Because second place up until then was 81 by Kobe. So it was like this special thing for everybody. But the way I look at it is, first of all, it's still impressive. I'm still impressed. Mm-hmm. It's less marred for me because the way that I look at it, so Wilt Chamberlain, you've surely heard of him at some point. That's the guy that scored 100. And there's no actual video evidence because the game wasn't, but it was recorded via radio. There's like an audio recording and there's a ton of witnesses. So I do believe it. But basically, for the second half of that game that he got 100, they were trying to get him the record the whole time as well. They were trying to get him to 100. So, like, they would foul the other team just to stop the time so that he'd have time to make more points, kind of thing. So if this is the record people are chasing and somebody does something similar to try to achieve it, I don't have a problem with that, personally.
No.
But still, 83 points is it's quite absurd. So that is what happened in the NBA.
It's one of those great examples of stats as a concept, though, right? Where it's like you could maybe argue that this was less impressive than Kobe's, realistically speaking. Maybe he was playing against a better team, or the way in which he did it was a lot more like impressive in its own right.
It was more entertaining, I guess.
The number might be lower, but it might have been a bigger feat because he was set up way less for success, right?
There was a little bit of gamesmanship in the Kobe game as well, if I remember correctly, but it didn't, because they were up 20 by the end. So, and back then, when you were up 20, that's like a 40-point lead today. It's quite different. So,
but you know what I mean, right? Like technically, the greatest achievement of all time in sports could be a third place. It's like somebody who got third, but they were seated 250th and didn't have a chance.
Well, also people look at it,
and they got third.
When it comes to Kobe-related stuff, they also look at it with rose-tinted glasses.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's regardless, like you said, it's crazy no matter what. It's cool whenever records are broken like that. It's always cool. Oh, well, it didn't technically break the record, but
I mean, no one's getting 100, so he broke the record for all intents and purposes. Because that was 20 years ago that it got 81. So yeah. So that's the NBA, Cinderin. That's what's going on.
There's been no changes in since the 100 points was made. There's been no changes in match duration or 3-point line, right?
Well, no, I don't think 3-point line existed back then, actually. Actually, I know
Okay,
it
so
didn't.
then
Definitely no
so
3-point
then
line.
you could only score 2 points and then one for free throws back then.
Yeah.
When he got 100.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I don't know if that makes it more or less impressive in a way, because I guess then you didn't play for 3 pointers.
I mean, you could argue it either way because Wilt was so tall, he could do whatever he wanted. I think he was playing against children, like genuinely. It's like playing against
Yeah,
like
I see.
middle school kids. So,
Mhm.
however you want to look at it, you can shit on the records all you want, but still pretty cool that it happened. Anywho, and I should mention last thing. He's not. I wouldn't say he's a bad player, but he wouldn't have been in my top 100 picks to get 83 if you had given me every player. It would not be like he's been an all-star a few years, I think, and he's good, but he's not a guy that scores. He averages 18 a game. This one game upped his averages to like 20 something. So it was
And
just
that's
really
what's cool about sports sometimes, right? That you can just have on any given day, you can just completely hit your stride. I think most people can recognize that in themselves in whatever they do, whether it's their job or a video game or in sports, that some days everything just seems to land. Like all the things you try just work, and then you try to replicate it for the next years, and you just can't do it again. Yeah.
You've had that in Dota before?
It's cool. Yeah. I've probably had games where I was like, man, everything just I really nailed it, and then but I don't have like a very, how to say, I think some people, if you ask players and you ask them what was the best game you ever played personally, I don't know how many pro players can answer that question, but I think for many pro players there might have been like a tournament where they were like, man, I was really on during this event, or I just totally got it. And then it's just fascinating how that vibe can disappear after even a week with no patch changes, nothing, the same teams, and then a team that just won an event can get last 1 week later. And you just think that shouldn't be possible, but it just is. That's a great segue to what we're going to talk about next, Shannon.
Yes, sir.
Because PGL Wallachia Season 7 has now concluded. And there's a couple of interesting storylines here. So before we talk about how well we did on predictions and therefore how much you pulled ahead further.
Did I actually?
I haven't checked. I don't check in advance because I want to keep the suspense, but I've already conceded to the fact that I lose every single tournament.
I mean, I
don't
see a
think I've
team
beaten
here
you in a tournament for like 10.
I mean, that's
10
true.
tournaments in a row.
I see a team that you picked as
everything.
an underdog that did more than well. So
Okay,
you
that's
might have
good.
done well this time.
Maybe I did. So a couple of things here. First of all, as usual, it was a Swiss format with 8 teams going through. Those 8 teams were Tundra, Vici, Betboom, Yandex, Aurora, Heroic, and then with clean 3-0 records, it was Spirit and Liquid. That puts them into an 8-team bracket. And then fast forward to not go over every single match, we reached the top 3, which consists of Betboom, Liquid, and Yandex. And Liquid have to play Betboom first, obviously, because it's the lower bracket finals. The Yandex had 2-0'd Betboom in the uppers, which means Liquid enter the final day of the tournament having to play a BO3 against Betboom, which I believe is the second longest BO3 of all time in Dota. They just played that against Betboom. Game 1, 76 minutes, 17 seconds. Game 2, 83-21. And Game 3, 66-12. So the average game time of this series was about 75 minutes.
You know what would have made these shorter if tier 5 items were good. Just saying.
And obviously this is the second longest behind the series that will, unless Dota changes, I don't think that record will ever get broken, which was Cloud9 versus Scary Phases. That was the series that had an almost 4-hour game. Where Scary Faces were defending forever against the Cloud9 with Envy on it. Do you remember that game?
The OD Pixel
that was
game.
OD Pixel's breakout game. He was casting the game with Purge, and he kept playing Two Steps from Hell music, which, probably isn't a thing we can do anymore, unless it's a personal stream, obviously, which I guess it was. I don't know if it was the official broadcast even. Maybe. I think it was officially licensed broadcast, but it was a different time where you could actually he was just playing music he didn't have the rights for on an official broadcast.
The good old days.
Shout out to WePlay.
Yeah, true.
So that's the second longest series ever. Liquid make it through. and then they have to play the BO5 finals against Yandex, which goes to 5 games. So they play the second longest series ever, straight into a BO5 that then goes the whole distance. And Liquid gets smashed the first 2 games, then they win the next 2, and they put in all of this time and effort, and then they still end up losing in the very last game. Talk about running the most ridiculous gauntlet.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
insane.
at the end of the day, it makes no difference, except that they obviously made the finals, right? But there's no reward for playing.
I'm
more
sure
games.
they'll survive. Those poor pro
Of
players
course.
making millions of dollars.
Of course, of course.
Um,
I'm not thinking about it from a financial perspective, but like the morale, right? You went through this is like people, if you play at home and you're like 8 games in a day, what's that? That's nothing. I play 10 pubs a day and it's nothing special. The level of intensity and energy that goes into every individual pro game counts a lot more than pub games. The level of competition is so much higher, so you need to constantly be way more focused. There's the whole element of communication with teammates. There's the whole morale element. There's the whole stakes element. Playing 8 games like that back to back is really taxing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, props to them for. I think the most impressive thing about all of this was that after they got smashed 2 games, they actually almost made the reverse sweep after playing that marathon.
They got their
first.
second wind, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, not quite enough. So, congratulations to Yandex on their, I believe, second LAN win. Or second tier 1.
Was it another? What was the other one they won? Was it Wallachia as well?
I don't think
No,
so. I'm trying to remember. We have talked about it at least.
It was Dream League, right?
Was it a Dream League? Yes, Dream League 27. You're right. It was in December. That was the Swiss Dream League as well. Maybe they're just good at Swiss. Who knows? Maybe that's what works for Yandex.
Yeah.
A couple of things that were interesting in addition to, or rather one interesting fact here. Yandex had a stand-in this tournament. We talked about how this tournament was going to have 100 stand-ins because of visa issues. But DM was standing in for Noticed. DM, who recently we talked about on the podcast, he got kicked from Parivision, and we were like, it's hard to tell whether DM was really underperforming or was an issue in that team, or if it was by design the way their team operates with 9 class on position 4, and they kind of leave DM on an island. Many of his games are very difficult to play because of the way that team is organized and structured. Parivision played this tournament with their new player SSS. They didn't even make it out of Swiss.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, DM stands in for Yandex and wins the whole tournament. That's gotta feel really good.
DM was right and Puppy was left.
Classic vindication story. And DM, I think, played a solid tournament. I don't think he was like truly spectacular, like MVP stellar performance, but that's also not really what DM does. He's a very stable rock, and
also doesn't feel like that's the offlane anymore at this patch, right? Isn't it just need to be stable?
Offlaners aren't really star players. I think it's very hard to be a star in this patch as a 3. So if you're a stable player and you have a good hero pool, I think that's what you need. And Yandex obviously saw that, grabbed him, and got a dub. So congrats to them. DM actually has a new team now that they've announced. I forgot what it's called. It's or maybe it isn't actually announced. I saw a tweet about it from Astini. But effectively just a stack for now, I believe. So they don't have an official name. But that is, I would argue, with players of not necessarily at least the same pedigree as the top elite right now. So I think that's going to be a tough task for him to get tournament wins with that team. But obviously would be cool if they managed to pull it off. And he's back with Astini, and they really wanted to work together. So yeah. That is good. All right, predictions, Shannon, for this tournament. Let's have a look. Okay, how did I do? Let's see. So you picked in order in top 3, Tundra, OG, Liquid, of which none of them... Oh, Liquid made it to second place, so you get 1 point.
OG.
I picked Falcons... Huh?
Nothing.
Okay. I picked Falcons, Tundra, Parivision. None of them made it.
Oh, shit. You did awful.
I got nothing. Now, your dark horse was Vici top 6. Vici got 7th, 8th, so you were 1 off.
Close.
And your white donkey was Falcons, not top 6. They got 12 through 14. So
my boys!
Easily 2 points. Now, I think this is, as far as predictions goes, I think this is the tournament where we've had the 2 most different results for one team. You picked Falcons, not top 6. and they got 12th, 14th, and I YOLO'd and picked them to win. We're very
Yeah, you
different on that.
need to go outside the box to beat me, apparently, Cinderin.
Yeah, I guess so. And then my dark horse was Yandex top 6, which they won the tournament, so that was good.
Yeah, that was a good
And
call.
my white donkey was Navi not top 11, and they got 9 through 11, so barely missed. So you win by 1 point. Congratulations. It is.
Wait, you got a single point? I thought you did better than that.
I got 2. You got 3.
Oh, I got 3.
The top 3 ones give 1 point each, unless you get the correct placement, and then.
Wait, how did I get the third point? I did 1 in top 3. I picked.
Yeah.
Oh, Falcons.
The white donkey dark horse give 2 points always.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you picked liquid to get second, and they got third.
Right.
So you win again, sir. Good job. I am now behind by what's that? 19-9. And given that each tournament we generally get on a very good tournament we get like 5. And on a very bad one, we get like 2.
How are you so bad at predicting? It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is quite impressive, actually. I'm much better at predicting once I see the drafts. That's how I work. I'm not good at predicting going into tournaments. Anyway, it is what it is. You're just better. Next tournament, ESL One Birmingham starts in 2 days. Actually, starts on Sunday. We are going to be casting that. The group stages, that is. We're casting remote. So if you guys want to specifically listen to our casting, it's going to be on the Dota 2 Earth ESL stream. They're generally going to like cross-link because there's going to be 4 side-by-side games, simultaneous ones. We will be casting Series 3 and 4 as it stands on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then we'll be casting Series 2 on Wednesday. So 4 days in a row for a total of 7 series. And these are 2-game series. It's round robin. All of them. So make sure you guys check that out if you want to watch. And then we will do predictions. Shannon, I'm starting to think if we should do like some sort of added challenge to this somehow so that either you can win more or I can catch up. Like some sort of double or nothing mechanic. But I don't have any good ideas right now.
Yeah, I think implementing new rules once you're losing seems a little sus. That's all I'm going to say.
The thing is, it almost feels like I've lost already with 5
You have.
months.
You definitely have. Yeah. I could just close my eyes and
the problem is I kind of feel like I need to take more and more drastic risks to catch up, and it just makes it even worse. It's like,
you ever thought about getting good, Cinderin, at any point?
Maybe that's the solution. Okay. So ESL One Birmingham is a LAN, and it takes place from Sunday to Sunday, right? Yeah, it's like a 8-day event. And the teams are Yandex, Spirit, Parivision, Extreme Gaming, OG, Tundra, Falcons, Virtus Pro, Mouse, Nigma Galaxy, Betboom, and Aurora, and Yakult, Reconyx, Gamer Legion, and Pain. Your top 3.
Boy, oh boy. So there's 2 groups. This is not Swiss then, right? So 2 groups.
No, this is round robin.
Into double elim.
It's 2 8. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. It's 2 8-team round robins. Yeah.
Okay. We don't have a lot of stand-ins now, which is good.
That's true.
All right, I do have a dark horse. I know you said top 3. It doesn't matter.
You can start with that. I don't mind. Look, whatever, man. You can pick whatever you want.
I'm going with my heart.
Win, okay?
Dark horse, Virtus Pro. What are you going to give me? What are you going to give me on that?
Top 8.
I'll take it. I can take risks.
I think that's already a dark horse performance for that team.
Okay, white donkey.
Is that not ambitious enough? Can you be I mean, I think it's okay. But
I mean, up to you. You're the rule master.
Okay, it's fine. You know? It's fine. Yeah, white donkey. Let's go.
White donkey is Team Yandex. They will be 13 through 16.
Wow. Okay.
Anytime a team wins with their stand-in and then you come back with the full roster, they suck ass. So I'm just going to go with that trend.
Okay, so I will give you, for White Donkey Yandex, I think the problem with White Donkey performances is that the top level of competition is so tight. So I actually think it's only a disappointment for me, like a true disappointment if they don't get top 8.
I was gonna say way lower, but sure, I'll take whatever you're gonna give me.
Okay. I would say when you just come off a LAN win and you've generally been a title contender for months,
Yeah.
then not even making top half of the field is pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many good teams. So,
All right, top 3.
okay. Yeah.
I'm
you
gonna
want to do your
go-
whole bracket? Okay.
Yeah, I'll just do
You
the
can
whole thing.
Oh,
That
okay.
if
All right.
anything, that's a comeback mechanic for you.
Yeah, sure. That can mislead me even more. It's
Top
great.
3. Let's just say Tundra.
Yeah, Liquid aren't present. Just
Tundra, Aurora,
okay.
and I'm not gonna go Falcons.
Yeah.
As much as my brain wants to go for them. I think a big patch needs to come out, which it may, for them to get back to where they were.
It's probably not coming out before an event in 2 days, though.
No.
But there might be something in April. I'm hearing rumors.
Yeah.
From there was one. The rumor is literally one Reddit post where Ennis has said, "I have heard Valve have worked on something for April for a year."
It's probably deadlock related, so
we're coping mega hard at this point. Just give us anything, man.
This is hard. Spirits stink right now too. Paravision stink. Everyone stinks.
I mean, Spirit were pretty good for a part of the tournament that just played. No,
I wanted to go Mouse, but I can't see that. They're so inconsistent.
No. Pick your heart with OG as usual.
Nah.
Eventually you're gonna hit.
I don't think so. I'm giving up on. I said last time it was my last time, and I'm sticking to that. Or I'll just do Spirit. Whatever.
Spirit. Okay.
I don't think so though.
Well, then you can revise it in a moment. Then, if you want to think for a bit more.
Nah, I'm ahead by so much.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Wait, it's whatever. You're just gonna fucking win, aren't you?
You're gonna have to clean sweep me. Yeah, you're bad influence.
Yeah, really bad. Okay, Dark Horse. What will you give me for Nigma Galaxy?
Top 8, I'll give you.
Okay, so we consider them on par with Virtus Pro. I don't think that's unfair, actually. I think that's reasonable. We'll get back to Enigma Galaxy in a moment, by the way. And that's part of the reason why I'm picking them as Dark Horse. White phase? Donkey. White Donkey. So you picked Yandex. How poorly do Tundra need to do?
I'll give you 5th.
So not top 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
I'll give you the good odds. Make it seem like you have a chance to come back.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if it's better than your Yandex not top 8 almost. I feel like Tundra are just so consistent, but they have an off event once in a while, so I'll take it. Okay, first place. Is it time? No, it isn't. Okay, I'll do them bottom up. Bet Boom 3rd.
Okay.
Second place, Spirit. I think they already look better with Laurel back, and I think they need some more time, but I think they're on the right path.
Well, that means they're disbanding soon. Oh boy.
Yep, that's right. I'm so sorry, Silent, for causing that for you in the past. Who do I have winning then, actually?
Exactly. This was...
Wait, who do I pick to win?
You could double whammy it with who'd you pick?
Yeah, but if
Tundra?
I cover my bases and I pick Tundra, then I mean, I need like some slam dunk wins, right? I need to really hit if I want to win. So if I hedge my bets, I'm never gonna win big. So I kind of need to ace it. Can Yandex do it again?
Yeah.
Could get top 3. I mean, it's also good to just have a team that has a high chance of getting 3rd, winning. Because then you at least get points there. All right, I'll say Yandex are on a complete heater and they're going to win again.
I'm so sorry in advance, Yandex. I'm so sorry.
Me too. But maybe this is what causes, like when the fans always point out, man, it's so nice how competitive the scene is. It's never the same team winning 2 times in a row. It's because if I pick the winner of the previous tournament, they can't win again. So
true.
Just gotta keep doing that for the health of the scene. Okay, so in summary, your top 3, Tundra, Aurora, Spirit, and your Dark Horse Virtus Pro top 8. Yandex not top 8 was White Donkey. And for me, Yandex is winning, so we're very much on different ends of Yandex.
Yep.
Spirit second, BetBoom third, and then Dark Horse Nigma gets top 8, and White Donkey Tundra is out of top 4.
Good stuff.
And this brings us to a couple of extra things that are related to these teams that actually are playing in this tournament. One of them is about Spirit. We talked about this some weeks ago on the podcast when Spirit stopped or kicked Silent. It wasn't announced as a kick. They just said thank you for all the hard work and we wish you the best of luck. But there was a really long interview. These interviews are really good, by the way, from Mrs. Marple, who does interviews with Eastern European team players. And she has I believe the video is like 2.5 hours YouTube video with Yotaro. And he is talking in that interview. He's saying, this is paraphrased by Morph Designer, who is also a great interviewer from the Eastern European region. He paraphrased it from that interview saying, Yotaro was quoted as saying, we had a lot of disagreements with Silent. It started long before Miposhka left, I'd say. There were constant issues between the two of them. Not even issues, they just had different views on Dota. It came down to a conflict of interests. Miposhka left, Silent stayed, but we brought in a new drafter in Panto. And again, it was hard for them to get along. There were some conflicts that I'd rather not get into. That sounds very serious. In the end, the organization decided to let Silent go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that confirms what happened, or rather it...
I mean, I don't know anything about this situation. I find it interesting that the way that this is phrased, which may be incorrect, but the way it's phrased is that they chose Silent over Miposhka, which shocks me. That's really shocking. But
if again, that was the way the choosing happened.
If that's actually what happened, but impossible to know.
But yeah, that's it's a great example of how little we know about the inner workings of a team, because whenever you see the coach interviews and whenever you see the team footage and whatever, I don't feel like this was in any way, there was no hint that this was the case, right? That there were any sort of conflicts like that. Silent always came out for coach interviews, and I mean, why would he be like, yeah, we really disagreed on the draft. We think we picked shit heroes. I hate Miposhka's ideas, but the team said yes. Obviously, they're not going to do that. But the whole demeanor about that guy, he just comes across very non-confrontational, the way he presents himself, right?
Yeah,
so that was just surprising for me to read. I didn't think, wow, these are like really, they have very strong disagreements where they're very clearly strongly opinionated, both Silent and Miposhka, because both of them seem like, like pretty chill dudes. And then sure, you can disagree about stuff, but maybe you just have this idea that these two players wouldn't get to that point. But it's tough out there. No news about Silent as far as I'm aware, by the way. After he's out of Spirit, I haven't heard of any moves from any teams to pick him up as a coach. I don't know if he wants to. Don't know if he's just taking a break entirely from Dota. And Miposhka is also not on a team, but I can't help but feel like he's going to come back, though. I don't think he's fully done yet. I feel like he doesn't want to go out on this note, but okay. That's that about Silent. Now, the other team I wanted to talk about was Enigma Galaxy, because they have a new offlaner. This picture looks heavily photoshopped, by the way.
Oh, is that me lagging?
Right to me.
Oh, that's you lagging? You okay?
Oh, hello?
Hello?
You hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Hello? Okay, I don't know what that was. But anyway, this is an interesting roster move because it means two things. First of all, obviously, Davai joins a team that I think has a quite significantly different style to what he has been playing with. So I'm curious to see if he slots in well. And then the other thing is that, largely by the community at least, most criticized player of Enigma Galaxy, Noob, goes back to his original role and plays mid. That's where he was originally playing Pro Dota, and he moved to offlane to play for Enigma Galaxy. So the hope for them possibly is that Noob can show a better performance and play at his best from mid, and Davai obviously is playing his best role. So I think this team could get off to a good start. That's why I picked them as Dark Horse for Birmingham, especially because the Dark Horse threshold was top 8. I don't think they're getting like top 3, top 4. I think 6th place would already exceed expectations, but it's not out of the question.
What's photoshopped
Um,
about this?
I feel like the neck just looks, you know what I mean? The jersey on the neck just doesn't look. Am I seeing things? I feel like this doesn't look right, but
You could be right. I don't know.
I don't know. Also, doesn't matter. There's something. Sometimes you see something and you're like, yeah, this isn't. You also just start questioning everything because of fucking AI. Sorry
Yeah.
about the cussing, Shannon.
We'll get to AI this episode,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm sure we will. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, that's it for Pro Dota for this episode. However, we have a little bit more Dota. We are so dry on updates that we will be talking about Quarteros Curios. And I just want, I want this to be really quick, but I wanted to go over it quickly because they added the new Quarteros Curios in game now. So this is the 2nd season of it. There's a new character for every lore fan out there. I don't know if this has any implications. People are hoping maybe one or both of them are one day going to be heroes. It's Quarteros' sister, and I forgot her name already. Let's call her Quarterina for now.
Do you read any of the
I
dialogue?
do actually. I think the dialogue is very well written. I think it's fun to watch it. I read all of it when I get the new.
That's good.
The new tiers. I think it's great writing and really good voice acting too. For what this is, I think it's really well done.
You think the voice acting is better than the last 2 heroes?
Yes.
Like why? Why?
Easily better.
What the fuck? Or what the hell?
I believe Quartero, if I'm not mistaken, is voiced by Nolan North, who voices 10 of Dota's heroes, and he is really fucking good. So
freaking,
I'm not surprised. Yeah, he is really flipping good, Shannon.
That's right. That's my boy.
Finger licking good. So what I wanted to quickly talk about is they're doing a second season of this, if you will, and it is the same reward structure entirely, with the great reward at level 5, which everyone who plays just a few games of Dota in 3 months will be able to unlock. I think you need to play like 10 games maybe, or maybe 15 or 20. And then there is rewards all the way up to level 300. And as last season, the rewards on level 5 are the best ones. And then there's up until level 100, you get the new sets. This time it is sets of Zeus, DP, and Mars. And then you unlock the higher version of the Mars set and the higher levels toward level 100. And then there's nothing until level 200 and 300, where there's one basic choice of chests, just like on level 10, 20, 30, whatever. I played a lot of Dota in the last 3 months, and I reached level 200 on my Quarteros Curios, exactly 200. So I was 2/3 of the way to the top reward, which is effectively nothing. I don't really know. The reason I'm bringing that up, I don't know what to think about this reward system, because to me, it feels really weird to have this like condensed level 100 with rewards that scale and get better and whatnot, except level 5, which is the best. And then the higher levels just are kind of meaningless. So why even have those rewards almost? It feels like if you're going to put this like massive gap from 100 to 200, you want something meaningful, right? If it's like, wow, you just doubled your level for one reward, and then that reward is the same as the level 10 reward.
Right.
Just like nothing. That to me just feels so weird that it feels out of place more so than having nothing. I actually would almost like Quarteros Curios better if it didn't have a level 200 and 300 reward and you could just level indefinitely and get nothing. Because then it doesn't feel like it's like you reach this milestone and it feels like you got scammed, you know? Even though you didn't pay anything for it. It's free stuff, so you can't really complain. But then, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Yeah. Just another fuck you to the Immortals, Cinderin, that play so much.
I don't think I've seen a leveling or reward system in any video game like this ever. Like, obviously, if you're playing like single player games and there's some sort of ridiculous Easter egg where you need to grind for like 100 hours to get one line of dialogue or whatever, you could say it's a similar story, but that doesn't have like this gradual leveling system that's accompanying.
Didn't they change something? They changed something with the rewards this time, right? I'm forgetting what it was though. Like when you choose your chests, you can get shards now.
You can choose shards instead. Yeah,
which is a good change
instead of the chest.
And now the next step is to add something worth purchasing with shards. That would be That'll be good.
We're getting there.
The last thing I bought with shards was when they came out with the killing spree little effects at the top, which are really good. You could choose gold, ice, or fire.
Right.
That's how long ago was that? That's the last thing I purchased.
Probably 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Yeah. So
maybe even more.
One day we'll get something good in Dota Plus.
I would like to see them change that reward system. I'm not complaining about Quarteros Curios. I think it's great to have some sort of easy placeholder during this downtime or whatever you want to call it. But that is my one gripe with it. Aside from that, the voice acting is good. The writing is good. I overall thought it was a good addition to the game, the last one. So I'm happy they're continuing it. And it seems like the overall... It's funny how polarizing the feedback is from fans, where some fans think they're just spam clicking through the dialogue to get their items, and others are like, the story and the writing is the best part of the whole event.
Yeah.
It's very different what people like.
True.
Aside from obviously playing Dota. But I guess it was the same with what's it called, Crownfall. Also, a lot of people didn't care at all for the story and just wanted the stuff. And other people loved the story and the progression of it. So
okay,
that's fine.
So thank you to It's Gaifu for bringing this up, because this was actually on last week's outline and it did not copy over to this week. But we should definitely talk about it. Mm-hmm. Do you want to read this for me, Cinderin? That'd be really great.
Yeah. So this is from March 2026. You want me to read the whole thing?
Well, yeah.
I can read it. Okay. All right, guys.
I read this last week, and
get a cup of coffee or whatever. This is quite a long read. All right. About the New York Attorney General lawsuit against Valve. So to preface this, we haven't talked about this on the podcast, but whoop-de-doo, the New York Attorney General sued Valve based on loot boxes. So this is the next chronicle in that whole debacle about what is fair and what is not fair with loot boxes. Okay, here goes. Dear New York customers of Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and Team Fortress 2, you may have seen the New York Attorney General recently filed a lawsuit against Valve claiming mystery boxes like crates, cases, and chests in some of our games violate New York gambling laws. We don't believe that they do, and we're disappointed to see the New York Attorney General make that claim after working to educate them about our virtual items and mystery boxes since they first reached out to us in early 2023. We rarely talk about litigation, but we felt we should explain the situation to you. We shared with the New York Attorney General, I'm going to call it NYAG, it also says that here. Now you know what that stands for. We shared with the NYAG that these types of boxes in our games are widely used, not just in video games, but in the tangible world as well, where generations have grown up opening baseball card packs and blind boxes and bags, and then trading and selling the items they receive. On the physical side, popular products used in this way include baseball cards, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and Labubu. In the game space, digital packs similar to our boxes date back to 2004 and are in widespread use. Players don't have to open mystery boxes to play Valve games. In fact, most of you don't open any boxes at all and just play the games, because the items in the boxes are purely cosmetic. Therefore, there is no disadvantage to a player not spending money. In the process of cooperating with the NYAG's investigation, we shared with them our efforts over many years to shut down accounts found to be using Valve game items on gambling sites in violation of the Steam subscriber agreement. We also shared with them our efforts to combat fraud and theft of users' items and our extraordinary measures to stop gambling sites from taking advantage of Steam accounts and Valve game items. Valve does not cooperate with gambling sites. To date, we've locked over 1 million Steam accounts that were being misused by third parties in connection with gambling, fraud, and theft. We've also shipped features like trade reversal and trade cooldown to discourage gambling sites' ability to operate and protect Steam users from fraud. And we forbid any gambling-related business to participate in or sponsor tournaments for our games.
Not true, by the way.
Not true.
Definitely not true.
I believe that this is obviously not in the text. Technically, this is true for Valve-sanctioned tournaments.
Yes, but they're
their own tournaments.
Yes.
So CS Majors and TI.
The one, if we're talking about Dota, the one tournament a year that Valve, but they allow these other, I mean, I think it's the same thing personally, but go ahead. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you disagree?
I think this statement is just incorrect. It says we forbid gambling-related business to participate in or sponsor tournaments for our games. Would be incorrect. Saying every tournament that has any gambling sponsor or any teams that have it are
If they
not
said
allowed to
if they
participate.
said specifically from tournaments that we run ourselves, then it would be true.
Yeah, that would be true. And this is probably legal speak, right? Because they could argue that it's not for their games when they are not the host.
Could they argue
Right.
that though? I mean, yeah, it's lawyers, so they must be right.
Otherwise, I'm not very much into law, so I don't know if there's any room there. Anyway, continuing. We're almost halfway. Don't worry, guys. It's great. Doing well. We have serious concerns with many of the alterations the NYAG claims are necessary to make to our games. First, the NYAG seems to believe boxes and their content should not be transferable. They appear to assume digital mystery boxes and items in our games are... Okay, let's try again. They appear to assume digital mystery boxes and items in our games are different from tangible items, like baseball card packs, which contain random cards, and to take issue with the fact that users have the ability to transfer items they receive through Steam trading or user-to-user sales on the community market. We think the transferability of a digital item is good for consumers. It gives a user the ability to sell or trade an old or unwanted item for something else, in the same way an owner can sell or trade a tangible item like a Pokemon or baseball card. NYAG proposes to take away users' ability to transfer their digital items from Valve games. Transferability is a right we believe should not be taken away, and we refuse to do that. They're doing that with a lot of Dota items that are not marketable and tradable. So they're not consistent in this across the board. They don't have everything be tradable, but they have a lot of things be tradable. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if you're the right person to ask. Is there anything in Counter-Strike that's not tradable?
Oh, I don't know.
Or is that a Dota thing?
I don't know.
I don't think
I've never heard of something not being tradable, being able to be traded.
I think CS is tradable fully. Okay, anyway, the NYAG also proposed to gather additional information beyond what we normally collect in the course of processing payments about each game user on the off chance someone in New York was anonymizing their location to appear outside of New York, such as by using a VPN. This would have involved implementing invasive technologies for every user worldwide. Similarly, the NYAG demanded that Valve collect more personal data about our users to do additional age verification, even though most payment methods used by New York Steam users already have age verification built in. Valve knows our users care about the security of their personal information, and we believe it's in our and their interest to only collect the information necessary to operate the business and comply with law. I think this is the least polarizing paragraph here out of anything. That seems very fair. We respect New York's right to determine the laws governing behavior in the state. We will, of course, comply if the New York legislature... I can't say this word. That's incredible. If the New York legislature...
No.
I have never had this problem in forever. Why can't I say it?
Keep
legislature.
It up.
There we go.
No, that's still not right.
What?
That's still not...
I'm stunlocked. Why can't I say this word?
I don't want to tell you what it is.
Wait, am I tripping?
Well, don't look it up. No.
I mean, that was like a British pronunciation.
Yeah, maybe
we
British.
Will, of course, comply if the New York legislature passes laws.
Legislator. If you want to be American, at least.
Oh, you say it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's infinitely easier.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Anyway, if the legislator passes laws governing mystery boxes, something it has not done despite considering the issue a few times. Such laws would be the result of a public process, presumably with input from the industry and New York gamers. The type of commitments the NYAG demanded from Valve went far beyond what existing New York law requires and even beyond New York itself. It may have been easier and cheaper for Valve to make a deal with the NYAG, but we believed the type of deal that would satisfy the NYAG would have been bad for users and other game developers and impacted our ability to innovate in game design. In addition, although this case is about mystery boxes, we feel the need to address comments made by the NYAG about games, real-world violence, and children. Those extraneous comments are a distraction and a mischaracterization we've all heard before. Numerous studies throughout the years have concluded there is no link between media, movies, TV, books, comics, music, and games, and real-world violence. Indeed, many studies highlight the beneficial impact of games to users. Ultimately, a court will decide whose position, ours or NYAG's, is correct. In the meantime, we wanted to make sure you were aware of the potential impact to users in New York and elsewhere. And this is from March 11th, so a little over a week ago.
Very interesting.
That
Thank you
was a
for
lot
reading
to
that.
read.
Thank you for saving me.
There's obviously, I mean, we did a little bit of commentary along the way, but I think the gist of this, I would say for the vast majority of this, I think Valve's take is level-headed, and I think they are mostly right. There is just the reason we're highlighting the things that stand out to us is that those are not fully correct in the way that they are worded, in the sense that they don't 100% do this all the time themselves. But I think their overall ideology here and whatnot, I think, seems all right. I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah.
Did anything stand out to you as Valve are being stupid or
no,
unreasonable?
I mean, I find it that I'm going to make this personal. I find this kind of ironic that they're saying that other games do this, Magic the Gathering, whatever. So it should be okay for us to do that, which I don't disagree with. If you remember, that's the exact same argument I made to the lawyers at Valve about custom games.
Right.
Yeah, we're charging stuff, which I didn't want to do. I don't want to go through this shit again, but everybody else is doing it. They didn't think that was correct, and now they're using the exact same argument for this. It's like, come on, dude. It's just very ironic. But I think this one's a tough one because every country, every apparently state can have different rules about it, which makes it like as a you know us making a game, we have to respect whatever those countries abide by, which makes it more difficult for us to be able to monetize properly, especially for free to play. Like free to play, having loot boxes type system is kind of just standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they can make it more streamlined in a way that's less predatory, because I don't think Dota, I don't know what the difference is offhand, but I don't think Dota really has that issue, but Counter-Strike seems to. It's like, maybe it's because the game's just bigger and the gambling just intertwines with it, because it's just every tournament. That's the thing that upset me the most about this, was them saying they don't sanction. Like, come on. Every tournament that uses your IP uses gambling sites as sponsors. Every single one. Other than the single one that you do for Dota and then the majors that you do for Counter-Strike. So that, I think, was just objectively incorrect, which, again, this is a lawyer that wrote this, so that must not be somehow. They must be okay with it, which is shocking to me.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the way this is worded is when it says our games, it means when we are involved in the running of the tournament so that it is a Valve product, we do not allow it. And if nothing else, if this gets brought up, they can probably defer to that, right? As this is what was meant with that sentence. But that was like the one I read that stood out to me the most as,
Yeah, so I don't know if this is going to turn into actually anything, but I would say, from my personal standpoint, and again, there needs to be actual studies done for this, because who knows what kind of impact this has on people. Maybe I'm wrong about Dota not being an issue necessarily, but for Counter-Strike, to me, from an outsider, it seems like a thing that they should be concerned about. So I don't know. It's an interesting topic.
How good do you think the analogy is between loot boxes in games and, let's say, Pokemon cards? How well do you think that comparison holds up? Because obviously they're referring to that a lot in this post about law, because they're like, this is a digital version of
I would say
card pack,
it's pretty close, but then you get into little weird gray areas, which we've discussed on the podcast before, where when you die, your Steam account doesn't go to somebody else. So in that alone, that is not the same as cards. If I have physical cards and I die, Nikki will get them. How is that any different if you want to make that argument, then Steam should transfer to next of kin, 100%.
And I guess there's also the other thing where, I mean, I suppose it's kind of similar. Like, let's say technically, the Pokemon company could just choose to re-release Generation 1 cards, right? In a similar fashion or whatever, that could maybe devalue the early rare and valuable cards or something.
Yeah.
But with Counter-Strike, for example, Valve just completely changed the market value of items that people had opened in a box by just changing the rules overnight, right?
That's true.
Where that's also, it makes it a little bit trickier, I think, to necessarily draw this parallel, because the value of stuff is usually tied to the rarity, but you can change the rarity as the game dev. Whereas the cards, you can also change the rarity if you printed more of them, but the rarity in those cards, for example, lies in the print ID, right? Like when they're from and whatnot. Where with digital goods, I guess it's not as obvious.
So I think
how that
there's
works.
definite similarities, but it's definitely not the same. But I would like it to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not there yet. And I think part of that's on Valve to actually implement those systems.
And then the other thing, which is the much bigger problem, I think, in all of this whole thing, is the whole gambling aspect, where when you buy a box of Pokemon cards and you get a rare, valuable card, you don't go to some sort of store in the city where you then roll the dice on whether you double your card or lose it. So the accessibility of gambling, the thing of value that you hold,
you could do it. It's just less convenient.
Yeah, but technically it could be orchestrated. But then the question is, would that even be legal, right?
Well, it would be legal in the sense,
card gambling ring. I think that would be illegal.
Well, but you could just sell it and then use that money to gamble. So theoretically, it's still.
I suppose, yeah. I mean,
but it's not convenient. Like everything digital, it just makes everything so much more convenient to be able to do whatever you want at your fingertips, right? Which is why gambling is such an issue.
Accessibility and how much harder it is to do checks and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's interesting to see this. This was 9 days ago, and as usual with law stuff like this, it's probably going to take months before we hear anything again.
Oh, that's months, huh? I think it's going to be longer than that. I'd be shocked if it's this year.
It could be years.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, Valve's response to the posts from the New York Attorney General, the lawsuit itself is relatively new, I think. So Valve's response was pretty quick. But then when does the next step happen? That could be years.
Right. I wish they enable comments for this. I would love to have read the comments. Wait,
people would troll
visit Steam discussion. Does that do anything? No. Sad.
I don't think
that would have been hilarious. Just have all these horrible online comments. All right, speaking of horrible, Nvidia had a conference. I forget exactly what it was, where they introduced some new technology called DLSS S5, and it basically takes a video game that you're playing and makes it AI. I know that's not entirely true, but it sharpens it, and you can see the image quality is improved, but it also changes the art style in many cases. The amount of processing power you need for this to actually work. I think they did this on a Duo 5090 setup, which is, it's not realistic for a normal person. Yeah. And this has gotten a lot of hate online, of course. And you can see as I'm scrolling through, there's a big meme with DLSS 5 off and on, with like The Simpsons becoming more realistic. Just the art style changes completely. And this is just the we're going to rehash this AI conversation that we've had. And I don't know if I've changed my tune necessarily. I've definitely, a bit I have. Because when we were first talking about like ChatGPT in the early days, I was very excited about the possibilities. And I still think there's so much stuff from AI that could be used in a very cool way. And I'm using it now it's just like brainstorming. It's just like throwing ideas at something, and it's become another way to Google, which I know is a slippery slope because you need to check your sources, but it's the same for Google. Like if I Google something, I'm not just going to believe exactly what's on the screen. I need to verify that's correct. But the problem is with ChatGPT and those likes is that it's having a conversation with you, so it's confidently incorrect. So if you don't know that going in, then it can be a problem. But for somebody like me that obviously knows that a lot of it's just complete bullshit, they're just scraping the internet, like Reddit threads, which a lot of times are just incorrect. If you go with that in mind, I think it's a great tool. When it comes to AI art, I know we've talked about this before. I didn't see a huge amount of upside. I thought it was cool that you could just have AI create something for you, but I never thought of it in a way that you can monetize. Like for the game that we're making, it's going to have zero AI art, obviously. Like, it was never going to be a thing. But AI it's going a lot faster than I was anticipating, Cinderin. And I'm starting to see a lot of the downsides now. Like, fucking fridge, everything coming out has AI. It's just completely unnecessary. And most of the tools available are garbage. They're apps. They're just trying to get ahead of the curve to eventually become useful at some point. But most of it is just complete garbage. And then when it comes to, like, we did, what is ChatGPT's video thing? Is it Sona or something like that?
Sona is one of them. I don't know if it's theirs.
So
But
we
there is
did it.
one called Sona,
We did that. We got some hate on it in our comments, I believe, that we just, were showcasing it. That's the literal only time I've used it. I don't find it, like, what good can come from, like, I think it's funny.
Sora. That's right. It's Sora.
It's Sora, sorry. I think it's funny that you can create videos. It's impressive as well. It's actually really impressive. And we talked about that, and I agreed with you back then. There's no real upside to being able to do that. Because now I'm going through Instagram. I get my farting and cat videos. That's the two videos that come up for some reason. The algorithm knows me best.
Now you can make your own, though.
Now a lot of them are fake. They're AI. I've been fooled by some AI videos. And it's like, this is ridiculous. There's literally no good that can come from it. But again, this is one of those, a technology is incredible and it could be so freaking useful. It's just being abused. And we need to get to a point where, I mean, what do you think of the internet? Because you could say the same argument with the internet, right? It's an amazing technology. It's done so much for the world. It's done so much garbage for it too.
Good and bad, for sure.
So maybe we'll get to that point at some point with AI, but
at the end of the day, I think stuff like this is a lot about moderation and about how my biggest concern with comparing the internet to this is, let's say you read or you see something online or whatever, that with critical thinking and with some sort of, like, if you approach it with the angle of, I don't believe everything at face value, I'm going to try to find out whether it's true or not. With most stuff on the internet, most of it, you can probably, with enough effort, or sometimes very little, sometimes a lot, find out whether something is true or not. My concern with this is that the technology gets so good that you cannot tell whether it's real. And that's my biggest worry, is that if once you have that, and then you can easily imagine the malicious uses of it, where there's no way of fact checking anything you see. So you reach this point of, what do you call that? Why can't I find the word for this? When you don't care about anything. Apathy. Yeah. You become apathetic because who the fuck knows whether what I'm seeing is real or not? Who knows whether it matters? Who knows whether it really happened? Who knows whether the people pretending they care are even real? Who knows whether, you start questioning everything, and then it's good to question things when you can verify them or not. But once you lose that power as a person, it's really hard to navigate the world, I think. I know this sounds really dystopian, but that's my biggest concern with this, is that we reach a point where you just watch literally anything and you don't know whether this was real or not, human made, whether anyone had any influence on it. And you're right, there's a shitload of just really bad stuff already floating around on YouTube, on other social media, or even something as harmless as cat videos, where you can just be like, wow, that was fucking lame, that wasn't real. It's like, okay, as far as badness goes, that's like at the very bottom of the problems of the technology. It's like, okay, you got fooled by a fake cat video.
Brain rot.
So what? Kind of, right? It's like, okay, it's bad, but on a scale of 1 to 10, that's a 1. On 10, it is people's lives being ruined because fake rumors spread about them and they have no way to disprove them. There's just like fake videos about, let's say, prominent politicians or famous people, or, regular people that just get caught up in a situation and then they can't defend themselves because you see it's right there on the screen, right? And it's just not real. That is really fucked up and sounds like real Black Mirror waiting to happen.
Yep.
As far as this goes with the DLSS 5, obviously the good thing about this is we all know that it's a video game to start, so it's fiction. So there's that whole layer to it is not really a concern with this. What I really dislike about this conceptually is that I think it takes so much away from the effort that the people that made the game put in with the art direction that they had, the way they wanted the game to be presented, the way they wanted people to see it, the way they wrote the stories, all of this is once you take a game that had a vision of what it wanted to be and then you just let AI change it, then it's not the same game anymore, would be my overall angle on it. Even if the story is the same, the way it looks, the way people talk, whatever, if that's different, it's not how the game creators, it's not the experience they wanted you to have when you bought the game. So I think that just is really bad for their work. And a lot of the time, it's also, does it necessarily make the game better if it's more photorealistic? Like, games choose by design a lot of the time to not be photorealistic, even if they were able to, even if they had the budget for it, because that's not the vibe you're going for. And then you're just taking that away. So, as usual, I think the technology is extremely impressive, but to me, it's just so far only proven to be a net negative.
I would say I think when it comes to
I'm saying
art,
it's proven to be a net negative. It has positives by far. Only was the wrong word.
Fair.
Overall, it has proven to be a net negative. It has some clear positive use cases. I think that the technology is very promising, but I need to see more of the positive and less of the negative, to put it simply, I guess, to be more optimistic about it in general.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The problem is like all these billion or $trillion companies are all racing for the same, whatever this finish line is. I don't know what that's going to even look like in 10 years, but.
And that was going to be
shoving it down people's throats.
That was going to be the final thing I wanted to say about it, was when you said that there's so much crap with all sorts of companies and all sorts of stuff that gets posted that has AI in it. It's obviously, it's the new cool thing. So when it comes to investment, a lot of companies are throwing millions of dollars at AI and they want to see something in return, right? If you throw that much money at something, you want to see it being used. And that means that a lot of products and a lot of things that you can access or interact with just gets AI forced into it because they have to be able to show a return on investment. So even if it doesn't make sense for that use case to even use AI, if the higher ups have sold AI to an investor, they have to use AI, right? So it's a good way to get funding, but a lot of the way AI is used is just either useless or just bad. So it would have been better without it, but hey, it makes money. So
not great
for now.
Not great
for now.
We're already over an hour 7, so we can save these other topics for another episode.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
if you want to. I think you can give an update on your voice, and we can save the other thing for next time.
Okay.
If you have an update.
Here's a random picture I found online. This is not me, believe it or not. Update on my throat issues.
Why are you showing this picture? It's literally just person in a hospital.
Yeah, you'll see, because I had this done to me. Actually, this was done to me.
I see. Okay, so there's some. Okay.
I had an endoscopy, is what it's called, where they put you to sleep for literally 5 minutes. It's super fast, and they stick something down your esophagus. They collect some samples and whatnot. And the thing, I have to look at my message to Nikki again to remember the name of it. I apparently have had chronic inactive gastritis. Basically just means down there it looks like shit, like it was inflamed, but it's no longer, supposedly. So I should be getting better.
Okay.
My throat right now is like some good days, some bad, which is better than before, because before it was only bad days. So that's good. But I have had to change so much in my life. It has been quite the process. Every time I go through this, I forget something. Haven't drank soda or coffee in 3 months. I've always worn nose strips in bed, but now I elevate the bed. I have a humidifier. I put freaking mouth tape over my lips so that I breathe through my nose. I use a nebulizer, as you know. We talked about that before. So I breathe in these fumes of that sounds nefarious, but it's not.
Very nefarious.
Taking medication, and so some good days, some bad. So I don't know. Basically, the TLDR is they think it's related to silent reflux. Could be a combination of that and like post-nasal drip. It's just The thing I found is going to these specialists, it feels like I'm cattle in a way, where they're just trying to get to the next person and they don't give a shit. They don't take the time to listen to me, tell them about all my symptoms. They just like speed me through, and it's been like 5 or 6 different specialists now. So it's very, very annoying process.
That's very dehumanizing, basically.
Yeah. So, and now they gave me something that I highly doubt is going to do anything, because I said a lot of times when my throat starts to hurt, which right now it's hurting because I've been talking, it gets really tight as well. So like, oh, we'll get you muscle relaxants then. I'm like, what the fuck? There's no way. But I'm going to try it. I'll freaking try it, Cinderin. We'll see.
Well, the good news is if nothing else, what you got out of it is at least the hope that it's on the right track, right? Because I could imagine when you've had it for months and months and months and you don't really feel any improvement, that you start thinking, am I going to be stuck with this forever, right? Like, is it never getting better? And if you're starting to see that's very, that's comforting, I suppose, to some extent, to know that it is improving.
I mean, the good news is with
casting, does this dispel your idea that it was tied to COVID at all, or
no? It does not. If anything, I think the timing is just too perfect.
I see.
Like, I don't know enough about
could have
COVID.
Also interacted with your reflux, basically.
Yeah, I probably had a little bit. I mean, I belch and fart a lot, as you know, mostly belching, of course. So that's part of having like gastritis and GERD and all that stuff that I probably have as well. And then whatever, again, it aligned perfectly with COVID. So after COVID, it just started. So it must, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, Cinderin, but if I had to guess, yes, it's long-term COVID shit.
I suppose it would
Shit's
make
not
sense
a curse word.
If something in your throat like that gets worn down over months, that the healing process is very long. I could imagine that's a part of the body that takes a long time to heal. So that would also explain why your problems last so long, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But I'm also not a doctor.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, the medication I've been taking, it took 8 weeks for it to finally do something. So
yeah.
Oh, and I'm also taking this. I found that thing in Sweden randomly, where it's this tablet you chew, and it goes down into your stomach, and then it reacts with whatever's in your stomach, and then it rises and creates a raft that prevents acid from coming up through your esophagus while you sleep. We don't really have that exact product here in the U.S., but I found a different one, so I've been taking that to see if it does anything. So far, it doesn't do shit.
But no cigars so far. Okay.
I mean, who knows? These things take
fingers
time.
crossed. It's already great if it's half and half now, because I think a month ago it was almost 100-0.
Yeah, it was like the last 2 days of our casting at Dream League. It was like my first day of not having any pain for 11 months. So that was fucking, like, when I have a day that I don't have any of that, it's like I don't know how to, it's like when you blow your nose after being sick or something. Like, it just, it's unreal, the feeling. So but then it comes back. So
that's good. Well, it's,
what can you do?
Step by step, if it's getting better, that's awesome, right?
That's right, Cinderman. All right, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will be casting Birmingham remote stuff the next 5 days or so. So check that out.
Sunday to Wednesday.
It'll be 10 a.m. my time, which is PST now, I believe. I'm aligned with PST.
Oh, yeah, we didn't say the time. That's correct. So 10 your time, 6 Central Europe PM.
Thank God
Sunday
for that.
through Tuesday. And then Wednesday, you're getting up very early to cast at my 3:45. That's 2.5 hours earlier.
You're kidding.
On the Wednesday.
They didn't tell me that.
Well, there's a reason you get sent a document with the times so that you can check them. Okay, maybe we're not doing that then. Maybe Shannon doesn't do that. We'll see.
God damn it.
But that's what we're set for.
All right.
There's no late series that day. There's only one.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Really a treat. Goodbye.
Bye.
We say things that don't mean anything.
But
thanks for listening.